Hello, my name is Genesis, and today I'm going to be sharing my insights from my inquiry project using the S'more Template newsletter. And my inquiry question was, how do I produce a motivating and welcoming classroom through my instruction and through my atmosphere? And I know it sounds like a pretty deep topic and sounds like a lot, but they actually go hand in hand, and you'll see that through some of my research. So this was so important. Why is this so important to us? I think this quote from Reader's Republic really sums it up well, and it says that inclusive classrooms are welcoming and support the diverse academic, social, and emotional and communication needs of all students. It's important that we teachers not only are challenging them as students and in their coursework, but also as people. They're growing up, they're learning who they are, and it's important that we're there for our students in both ways. So, I researched what different types of assignments and classroom students prefer to work in, where they feel most comfortable. And so today I'm going to explore on those answers, and I'll explore on how I can create a more effective classroom where students will feel comfortable and motivated to do their classwork in. So, the biggest takeaway from my research was that students enjoy being in classrooms that they like. So, I asked a set of students from middle school, high school, and two different colleges the same set of questions on their preferences on classroom setting and different instruction, because I think the best way to pull out this information is to ask the students themselves. So, first, we're going to dive into this preferred setting of classroom and classroom atmosphere. And regardless of the grade, students all came to the same conclusion. Basically, they wanted to be in a classroom where they liked the teacher, they felt seen and heard, and feel the assignments and course load are fair. Which, how do we do that? I'll go ahead and talk more into that coming up here soon. I wanted to pull this quote from one of the persons that I interviewed, Josue. He's 19, he's a freshman in college, and he talks about how his least favorite class is his math class because he doesn't know his professor. The professor only teaches one way, and they only have four assignments. He feels that course load is really unfair because it's weighted unfairly. The whole class period, the professor lectures and then gives him work to complete or finish at home. And he also says that because of this, he is failing that class with a 61. And he also doesn't understand the coursework. That is something that a classroom should never have. We should never have students who don't want to do their work and aren't understanding it. Us as teachers should be able to engage our students where we aren't running into this problem, and more classrooms are running into this issue today. So, it's important that we're uplifting our students. We're talking with our students. We're getting to know them. Um, uh, a quote that I wanted to talk about was that when it comes to making our classroom always feel welcoming, nothing beats it more than positive communication. And that goes into uplifting our students. It's not something hard or extra taxing on us. Positive communications, such as a simple, "You guys got this, you're doing great, I believe in you. Hey, can I talk to you after class?" These are simple things, but it's something to help us make sure that we are meeting our students' needs. And that is so important that we're doing that in a classroom. So, to create this welcoming classroom to help meet this preferred classroom setting and atmosphere, I went ahead and linked this 10 ways to create a welcoming classroom link. It's a very, very helpful article, and it's very parallel with other research that I've conducted and done throughout this assignment. And I feel like it goes straight to the point, and it is a very helpful and useful article with 10 different tools for you to use in your classroom. So, next, I broke down the instructional methods into three different categories because it feels like as students grow and change, so does their preferred method of learning. So, we have middle school, high school, and collegiate level. One of the people that I got a response from was Sasha. She's 14. She says that her favorite class is Miss Cox's class. She says she's her homeroom teacher, and one of the things that she loves about the class is that her teacher understands that it's early for all of the kids, so she plays music and always has a positive mood in the morning and checks up on her students. Her class is structured the same. There is a routine to it, yet it's always so much fun for Sasha. She says that first, they have guided learning time where the teacher actually teaches them the topic for the day, and then they have this free learning time where they can work on the assignment or the instructions that they were given, and the teacher will go around and Ms. Cox will ask questions, and she will always stop to make sure that they understand what's going on. And Sasha talks about how Ms. Cox is the only teacher that has ever been able to get her to participate and enjoy being in class. And I hope and my goal is that other teachers will be able to be like Ms. Cox. It's wonderful that Sasha has a teacher that is able to speak to her and create that relationship and atmosphere with her. So, going into these instructional methods in middle school, research shows that the students responded that they really enjoyed multiple choice questions, creative learning projects including art like poster boards, hands-on in-class instruction, and guided instruction with whiteboards. So if the teacher is doing a lesson or teaching a subject, if students can be engaged and pass out whiteboards where they can write on their whiteboards with expo markers. They really enjoy being able to do that. In high school, students say that they really enjoy open ended written response questions when it comes to their literature classes. They like being able to be persuasive and show their side of the argument. They enjoy online projects such as PowerPoints and Google Slides instead of the hands on art projects. They like online projects. They also enjoy self chosen research topics where they can show their passions and assignments working towards their goals. They also enjoy writing research papers, which also goes into the self chosen research topics. And then in the collegiate level, students that I've interviewed said that they really enjoy analyzing and revision work in the English department. Other students say that they really enjoy assignments and working towards their goals. Rather, that is a big major assignment at the very end of the semester. So, doing little assignments, working up to that final grade, they enjoy being able to work towards that. And they also enjoy creating lesson plans and creating quizzes or doing quizzes and also discussions. And I understand that these instructional methods, such as lesson plans, quizzes, and discussions, they may seem like it's more student based, but it's important that even though it might be that we are keeping our students engaged and uplifted through it. An easy way to do this is to model inclusive language through your teaching, use diverse examples, and structure classroom conversations to encourage respectable and equitable participation. So all of our students are engaged, yet they're doing the work on their own, but they understand that as a classroom, they have one another, and this is a place where they're learning together. They're students together. They're not just one student in there. They're not alone. So it's important that we include different type of instructional strategies for the classroom. Make sure that we're switching things up, keeping students engaged. So I wanted to add a couple instructional strategies for the classroom in on this project. Um, these instructional strategies are for the ELAR classroom, so for English language learning and reading. But these also could be used in any classroom if you shape and you mold it to your given topic. So the main three that I wanted to talk about were different inquiry project mapping, the OQC method, the observe, question, compare method, and highlighting and questioning text. All of these methods come from Deborah Dean's writing strategy book, which I think is a beautiful book if you are in English or if you're an English teacher and want to have different strategies for your classroom. So firstly is the highlighting and questioning text. This method, if used properly, can increase students' comprehension and recall. It focuses on highlighting key and important parts of the text. So rather you're going in your teaching theme or your teaching story and plot and structure, you can use different types of highlighting for different resources and different lessons. The OQC method focuses on students using mentor text for their work. They actually observe other work, question what makes it so well, and then compare it to their own work before doing revisions. This is something to help students revise their work, look at others, and help incorporate vocabulary and usage of that into their work. Next is the different inquiry project mapping, and this method is basically when you have students explore different topics by using project mapping. Students will create a large outline or a map on paper or online for how they can and will use their certain inquiry topic, and it helps dig deeper into their topics so they can narrow down their subject and their question of what they're really trying to look into. And these are just a couple different techniques that you can use for the English classroom, but you could also use the highlight and questioning text, the OQC, and the different inquiry project mapping for any classroom if you mold it correctly to your lesson plan or subject. So when it comes to incorporating these new things into the classroom, it is something that seems intimidating, but it's important that we as teachers are meeting the needs of our students. One quote that I really looked at that stuck out to me was, "Forcing ourselves to learn new things makes us more versatile. When our students come to us with a problem, we can almost always find a solution." And that's something that I feel us as educators should be able to do. It's important that we try these new instructional methods and activities in the classroom. These new lessons and methods keep your students engaged and boost creativity for you and your students. Strobel says that innovative teaching strategies can help teachers reach all of their students and provide a meaningful learning experience. Trying these new lessons, like I said before, may seem hard or uncomfortable, but even if we fail, there's still a positive side. It helps students see that failure is okay. The same thing may happen with changing the atmosphere of the classroom, trying to create this new welcoming classroom, but it's important that we meet the needs of our students. And it may seem intimidating or overwhelming, but it's something that we have to do. We have to be able to challenge ourselves to try these new things in our classrooms. So challenge yourself and your students, try something new in the classroom, and try to create the most positive and efficient and welcoming classroom that you can using these new tips that I've shown you today and this research that I've provided with you.